Welcome back, fellas. Week 11 review, Week 12 preview. Couple weeks left in the season, right before we get to the playoffs and the shit-offs. Let's see how everybody's doing. Last full week of Guardians against the Villains. Knuck, if you buck, defeats Irish Goodbyes 142.50 to 98.60. This begins a long ride for the Guardians division, who knocked off each and every single one of the opposite division this past week. Guardians all picking up the win, and it started with Knuck if you buck. Next matchup, your Tribal Chief taking on Cheeeesehead, and your Tribal Chief defeated Cheeeesehead 131.72 to 87.70. A rematch from first year's championship, your Tribal Chief continues to have Cheeeesehead's number in this league. Up next, Jay Resendez 3 defeats Zesty Williams 151.90 to 122.72. The reigning, defending, undisputed champion continuing to pile on wins as he takes down other Jose in the Jose Bowl. Thought we weren't going to have it this year, but you thought wrong. The Jose Bowl, alive and well. Cero Miedo defeated his co-host in one of the Unsanctioned Talk Game of the Weeks, 139.74 to 128.92. Close game, but bragging rights here goes to Cero Miedo as he was able to defeat Second City Saints and claim bragging rights. Unless they somehow face off in the championship, this will be the one and only meeting this season. Up next, we had the ThePatriotWay knocking off Cobra 216.88 to 122.44. A dominating performance for what has looked like the best team in the league. The ThePatriotWay mops the floor with the opposite division. That is Cobra. ThePatriotWay looking dominating as we head towards the playoffs. And that'll lead us right into the game of the week winner for week 11. Got cut off, but it should say Cero Miedo was one half of the Unsanctioned Talk game of the week winner. The other one, the ThePatriotWay dominating Cobra in his game of the week for week 11. And speaking of the ThePatriotWay, the highest scoring team for week 11 with 216.88 was the ThePatriotWay. And you ask, how did he achieve this? Well, let's take a look at the highest scoring starter for week 11. That was Josh Allen, owned by the ThePatriotWay, who scored an astonishing 62.68. Back-to-back 60-pointers in the league. Josh Allen getting it done for the ThePatriotWay. Some other notable highs. We had McCaffrey up there. We had McMillan up there helping the ThePatriotWay. McCaffrey helped out Cero Miedo. We had Trey McBride, who helped out Jay Resendez. Jason Myers, who helped out Cero Miedo. And once again, the LA Rams that helped out your Tribal Chief. Bench warmers for week 11, the Villains Division Special. Zesty Williams, not much there to make a big difference. Irish Goodbyes left Sean Tucker, 40-pointer, on the bench. Cobra, preview of the championship as beaten, perhaps. Cheeeesehead, tough week in and week out, nothing on the bench. And Second City Saints, way to let your co-host win. Our team banks now updated. As you can see there, the ThePatriotWay continues to rack in nothing but highest scoring teams and highest scoring starters. As you see, Cero Miedo getting a game of the week nod for this past week. And that'll lead us right into division or records against the opposite division, or wins against the opposite division. The Patriot Way leading the way the in-season tournament. If he can successfully defeat or win his last non-divisional game, he will wrap up the in-season tournament. Cobra, Cero Miedo, and Jay Resendez right behind. We had Cheeeesehead 87.70 falling victim to the lowest scoring team of the week. Guardians division stays with the Patriot Way up top at the number 1. Number 2, due to tiebreakers, will still be Cero Miedo for the time being, which means at the number 3, the reigning, defending, undisputed Guardians of the Gridiron champion Jay Resendez 3 comfortably. All 3 of them comfortably with the playoff spots locked up. Your tribal chief ranks in at number 4 once again. And to close out the Guardians side of the rankings, it is Knuck If You Buck at number 5. Villains division, obviously the number 1 team that has locked it up for quite some time, Cobra. Sitting rightfully atop the throne of the Villains division. He is still followed by Irish Goodbyes as the playoff spots are now close to being selected. Second City Saints, again, not much change because the entire Villains division did lose this past week. Very crucial games coming up as you have Zesty Williams and Second City Saints going to face off this week. Zesty Williams coming in at number 4, but that could easily change. And Cheeeesehead coming in at number 5. But once again, that could change this week. And here we go for overall rankings. The Patriot Way coming in at number 1, Cobra number 2, Cero Miedo number 3, Jay Resendez 3, number 4, Irish Goodbyes number 5, Second City Saints number 6, Zesty Williams number 7, Your Tribal Chief number 8, Knuck If You Buck number 9, and Cheeeesehead finds himself lonely at the bottom. But once again, that could potentially change in an instant. And to take a look back at the Guardians of the Gridiron shit-off projection, not much changed after the last week. Zesty Williams will have a chance to move back up if he is able to defeat Second City Saints this week. Cheeeesehead also has a game against Irish Goodbyes, and he needs this one in order to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Will either the teams win, or will the best buddies, Irish Goodbyes and Second City Saints, hold on to face each other in the first round? And speaking of the first round of the playoffs, let's take a look at the bracket, which is unchanged from last week. And we still have the Patriot Way number 1 for the Guardians. Cero Miedo number 2 and Jay Resendez number 3. Cero Miedo and Jay Resendez 3 would be facing for the opportunity against the Patriot Way to represent the Guardians. On the other side, Cobra will take on the winner of Irish Goodbyes and Second City Saints' current projection. They will have the privilege to face Cobra to represent the Villains division in the championship game. Spots for the Villains are still wide open. We will see how all that plays out in the upcoming weeks. As now we get into Guardians division action for this week. Your Tribal Chief takes on Cero Miedo. Cero Miedo projected to win 162.41 to 140.60. Cero Miedo could use this win right here to propel himself ahead of Jay Resendez 3, with Jay Resendez 3 facing a tough opponent this week as we get right into that matchup. Jay Resendez 3 taking on the Patriot Way. Jay Resendez 3 up 26.90 to 14.12 and is projected to win 173.76 to 168.39. What a matchup that's going to be. 8-3 Jay Resendez 3 against 9-2 the Patriot Way. Two of the best of the Guardians division. A potential playoff preview matchup for the Guardians division. And with our cross-divisional matchups, Cobra taking on Knuck if you buck. Cobra projected to win 169.90 to 150.46. Cobra getting his secret weapon. That's not so much a secret. Jonathan Taylor back out there. This week, we will see if he can bounce back with a win against one of the lowest teams in the league. And for our game of the week, week 12, sponsored by Unsanctioned Talk. Quite the matchups that we had last weekend. So we had to do it again, you know. Some more big time matchups with big implications. More specifically in the Villains division. Drum roll for this first. And that is gonna be Zesty Williams taking on Second City Saints. Second City Saints up 16.50 to 6.00 and is projected to win 141.64 to 131.03. A big time matchup for a playoff implications for the Villains division that has earned itself an Unsanctioned Talk game of the week as well as this next game. Also, the Villains division, because we have two spots in the Villains division that are up for grabs and four teams fighting for them. All four of these teams needing a win, but only two can actually get that win this week. Hit me with a drum roll, please. And that matchup is Cheeeesehead taking on Irish Goodbyes. Cheeeesehead up 19.90, but projected to lose 169.53 to 145.28. Like I mentioned before, all these teams separated by one game or less. Lots of tiebreakers that are involved. Make sure to look at the text again to see those tiebreakers. But unfortunately, that's going to be it for me. Fellas, week 12. Just a few short weeks from the postseason. Let's get going. Let's fucking go!